So Jonquel Jones, the current finals MVP and one of the best players in the WNBA. She's doing a podcast tour at the minute, and she's probably become one of the most likable players in the WNBA over the last couple of months or weeks, to be honest. Like, seems like she's extremely well spoken. She's a hooper, and I mean, she's just very, very much a likable person. So, yeah, she went on a podcast to talk about the Connecticut Sun. And, like, this just sums it up. And, like, the fact that the Sun have been so good as a as a team, like, their on-the-court product has been so good, is a testament to how good the Kurt Miller and how good Stephanie White have been as coaches. But let's take a listen right here. This is obviously on a podcast, and I do apologize if during watching this I yawn. I'm working off an hour's sleep right now. I had to record all the videos last night, was up till like 3 a.m., then have to travel the other side of the country to coach a game today. Was up till 6 a.m. doing a scout report, and then slept like an hour. I'm going to sleep on the journey down to coach the game. But yeah, so I'm working off an hour's sleep. So if I do yawn, I will try and mute myself, but I do apologize.
Just being in New York, right? Because your first time in a market like that, right? Was that just when you got to the city, you're like, okay, I'm about to maybe turn up a little bit here?
To be fair, I'm pretty sure like she got a really nice apartment straight away from the New York Liberty.
This is kind of what not to talk bad or down on any other team. When you're in a building and you're looking around.
While the organization has been there a while, and I played for the Connecticut Sun, and so.
I mean, the Connecticut Sun, we all know that their practice right before their playoffs is canceled because of a 2-year-old's birthday party.
While the organization has been there a while, and I feel like a lot of people in the front office, they try to do their best to make sure that we have what we needed. There was definitely a huge disparity, a huge gap between playing for a team that owns an NBA team and is in that arena.
I mean, like, the Sun have literally... It's like the Mohegan Sun tribe have said they don't plan to build a practice facility. They don't plan on building a practice facility. And they have come out and said, people need to stop talking about a WNBA team in Boston. We basically was like, we're not going to allow that. We're not going to allow a team in Boston. And it's like, man, like, you're going to see it very, very soon. The WNBA organizations that are incompetent are going to be so far behind.
And then obviously have been putting their female athletes and their female team first versus, a team where like, so when I played in the Connecticut Sun, we practiced in like the recreational, like the tribal facility because the
2-year-old's birthday party stopping their playoff session.
Team is owned by the tribe. And so sometimes there'll be people doing like yoga classes and
that's crazy
and different stuff, and like we'll be on the court like practicing on the full court, like the full
during
NBA
your practice
size court,
doing that?
Right? And then they'll come in and we have to like put the divider down,
hell no.
And then we'll start going on a court that was like smaller than like a high school court.
Yeah, we saw it happen in the playoffs. That 2-year-old's birthday party exposed a lot of things in the W.
Kid you not, while we're in the playoffs.
They talking about keep it down. We got a yoga class going on over here.
Yeah, and it's like you peek your head over the side and it's like 3 people over there like doing downward dog or something crazy, right? You know what I'm saying? So then I get to New York and I get to Brooklyn, and obviously we're playing in the Barclays Center, and just Clara Sy and Joe Sy have just really done an amazing job of investing in.
Man, James Dolan. That man sold the Liberty and has been trying to cancel the WNBA ever since. It's funny, like the article where it was like NBA owners complaining about the WNBA. And then like the more you read the article, the more it is like, this is James Dolan has just contacted some journalist and ranted about the WNBA. At the same time, fuck James Dolan. But like, it is mental, like, obviously the Nets owners taking over the Liberty and suddenly they're one of the best franchises in the W. But you're seeing it now where it's like, if you look at the franchises, other than like the Sky, I'll believe it when I see it with the Sky. That practice facility could take 5 years, and the Sky have been a disaster for the longest time. And then the Sparks are a disaster as well. But it's like, you're seeing it with the Mercury, how good their facilities are, how good the Valkyries is, how good the Aces, the Liberty, The Fevers is fine. Like Fever don't have these unbelievable facilities, but they're fine. And then you look at how bad some teams like the Sun are ran.
In this team, and
To be fair, the Sun are ran pretty well. I don't know why I say that, just how bad their facilities are.
if you know the story of the New York Liberty, I think 4 years ago they were playing in Westchester and in like a auditorium where they do like theater and different stuff like that. And then they bought the team, moved them to Brooklyn, invested in the team, and now we're champions. And we're, I'm on platforms like this speaking to you guys because they decided to invest. So I think that's what it's going to come down to as we continue to get more eyes on us and continue to raise the viewership and the dollars and everything else. Like these owners and these organizations that aren't willing to fully invest, they're going to either have to sell or.
Yep. And I don't think the Sun Tribe are going to sell. I think they're just going to I think the Connecticut Sun, like if you are a player in the W, you just pray at this stage you're not going to be drafted by the Connecticut Sun.
Or step it up.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is, because no one wants to get drafted into a league and it'd be a step down from college. Like in college, you could check into a facility at 2:00 in the morning if you wanted to go get shots up.
Right.
And no one wants to be able to get to the league and not be able to do that. You have a bad game, you can't even get into the facilities because they got a concert going on or something crazy like that.
Class.
Yeah, that is a lot of teams in the W. And you gotta hope you're not being drafted by one of them.
That shit close at 9 p.m.
Yoga or a yoga class. Right.
Do they provide you guys with like a lot of opportunities as far as like marketing, brand deals, and things like that?
I don't even know why I didn't realize it's destroying, isn't it?
Yeah. They taking care of y'all, or is it like you got to go out and look for your own things, or what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think that obviously my experience is different because there's different tiers of players, and that's in every league, and the marketability is going to be different. But I think for me, playing on the New York Liberty, being one of the star players and someone who's had an amazing career, I think that there's going to be opportunities for me that a lot of people that are probably not in the tier that I'm in won't have.
Yeah.
And the one thing I will say is, like, you're going to see Jonquel Jones. She's won Finals MVP. She's won an MVP. I think Jonquel Jones is going to be one of those players that, she's going to be one of the players that really benefits from the the boost in women's basketball because, well, you also have to take into account Jonquel Jones is a very likable person. So that helps. That does help with a lot of brand deals. If people like you, you're more likely going to get some brand deals. And also being very good at a sport that people are watching is going to help with things. But, yeah. Let's listen to the end of this.
But I do think that we need to allow or to try to make room for more opportunities for players to be able to make money off the court and make money outside of basketball. But, not to speak poorly of the Connecticut Sun, I'm just speaking my truth, but it's such a difference being in New York and being in such a huge city. Like even last year, the amount of money that I made off the court was probably in 1 year was probably more than I made in my entire WNBA career.
Wow.
After I moved from Connecticut to New York. And
that's the thing where it's like, you got, especially for the WNBA money. In the NBA, people talk about big markets. But like in the WNBA, when your salary is $200K a year, but you could potentially make literal millions in endorsements. You can make 5 times your salary in endorsements by playing in a big market. It's why, like, for example, a lot of people talk about, Lexi Hull, they're going to have to pay Lexi Hull. Lexi Hull could take a $0 salary from the Indiana Fever, and she would still make more money if she stayed in Indiana and if she went somewhere else, even though she's obviously not going to take a $0 salary. And the reality is like, Indiana, because just like the Cleveland's a big market with LeBron's there, Indiana's a big market because Caitlin Clark is there. But you look at the rest of the W, New York are good. Golden State's going to be, Golden State within 5 years is going to be competitive. The problem is that the likes of the Atlanta Dream are going to struggle probably. The likes of the Connecticut Sun are really going to struggle. And there's a lot of big markets that want teams. So I can maybe see within the next 10 years, to be fair, no, the tribe is just going to, this Mohegan tribe are just going to run it into the ground. But maybe the team does get sold and move to Boston. Maybe there is going to be a couple teams in big markets because it's going to get to the stage where if the small market teams don't have the facilities, it's going to be a huge struggle.